Welcome to the Weekend Update for Liberty, Leadership, and Lies with Larry Linton. First, I'd like to thank you all that submitted feedback on last Wednesday's episode. As I mentioned in the social media posts and on the website, the cohesiveness was somewhat interrupted because I had to remove some material. I hope to release those audio portions here pretty soon, most likely as a special episode. Maybe I'll use it to serve as an endorsement for the candidate that I was going to speak about. For some local information now, I want to mention an excellent location that supports medical freedom here in Sevier County. Their motto is bringing common sense back to healthcare. They have openings for appointments right now. The location is called Nurse Debi's Health and Wellness. Call 865-366-1711 to set up your next appointment. I want to be clear, they did not pay me or reach out to me to support them in any way, shape, or form. I just know these people from my interactions online with them, and I know that they support medical freedom. Now on to some statewide news and information. I want you all to hear this headline from the Tennessee Star. Came out last week. Here it is. Quote, proposed legislation would enter Tennessee into an interstate compact, creating an unelected quasi-government entity with broad powers, including eminent domain. Unquote. Now, doesn't that just fall in line with the stated platform of the Republican Party? It is amazing that this legislation would even be considered in our General Assembly that has a supermajority of the political party that is supposed to represent individual rights. Anyway, here's a little bit about this piece of legislation. If passed, the legislation would create the RegionSmart Development District and the RegionSmart Development Agency of the Greater Memphis region. The district would include the Tennessee counties of Shelby, Fayette, and Tipton, as well as some counties in Arkansas and Mississippi. It will be governed by a 15-member unelected commission, which resides in the district and consists of 5 members from each state. These commissioners will be appointed by the mayors of the respective cities or counties within the district who will serve staggered 3-year terms. The key takeaway from this piece of legislation is that it would grant these unelected members of the commission, key word there, unelected, the very broad power of eminent domain and condemnation over any and all rights or property of any kind or character. The sponsor of these bills are State Senator Paige Whaley for Senate Bill 1915 and State Representative Kevin Vaughn for House Bill 1989. The House bill will be heard in the Commerce Committee next Tuesday. Oh, both of the sponsors are members of the Republican Party. Isn't that just peachy? Proposing legislation that would grant unelected officials, in other words, bureaucrats, the authority to condemn your private property and take it from you through eminent domain. Now, this sounds like the state expansion of the deep state. We now need to worry about a state-level equivalent to the federal deep state. And we've discussed this before. Back in episode 32, it was Mr. Bernays' 1928 book, Propaganda. From the book comes this statement, quote, those who manipulate the unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government which is the true ruling power of our country, unquote. This commission that is empowered by our state government is in itself an invisible government with unprecedented power to be wielded by unelected people. I don't know about you, but that is how communists think and behave. More from the book, quote, whether in the sphere of politics or business, in our social conduct or our ethical thinking, we are dominated by the relatively small number of persons, unquote. Elected members of our so-called Republican supermajority are allowing portions of our state to be dominated by 15 people that are not accountable to the voters. The lesser of two evils is still an evil, people. It is time to replace every member of our General Assembly with true constitutional conservatives that will follow their oaths. Just why would these Republicans violate their oaths in such a blatant manner? Maybe look at the people who contribute to their campaigns. I'm just going to put this out there again, the portions of their oaths that they are violating. Here it is, quote, that I will not propose or assent to any bill, vote, or resolution which shall appear to me injurious to the people, or consent to any act or thing whatever that shall have a tendency to lessen or abridge their rights and privileges as declared by the Constitution of this state. Again, I would like for all of you that live here in Tennessee to go to the General Assembly's website. See how they vote in favor of or against any bill, and then check it to see if it violates their oath. Is that what you want more of? Is that just leaving you alone? Until next week, this has been the weekend update of Liberty, Leadership, and Lives with Larry Litton. I pray you all have a wonderful weekend. Stand in the arena with me. Reveille, it's time to wake up.